we now have Abigail Gaines, who's going to talk to us from Friends of the Rowntree Park.
Thank you. I don't actually know how this works. Oh yeah, there we go. Hello, I'm Abigail from the Friends of Rowntree Park, and I suppose I am a case study. So today you've heard from lots of doctors, professors, researchers, but I am just a bog standard average person who wanted to do something, if that makes sense. So I'll go back a bit. My background is secondary school leadership, teaching 11 to 18-year-olds, and part of that I taught gender sociology for a number of years. So I sat there with 17-year-old girls, talking to them about why they go in, someone mentioned it earlier, bedroom culture, hiding in the private space, why they don't feel confident in the public sphere, and making the girls actually look back at what's happened through their lives and seeing them go, oh my God, yeah, I realise now why I only took those subjects. I realise why this happened, and they'd never thought about it. And it was so amazing, like, talking to them about this sort of stuff. So that influenced me. Not only that, somehow I ended up getting really involved in my local friends group to the point that I now charity manage it. We're a charity and I sort of run everything. This is almost like in my spare time, a few hours a week. And on top of that, I have a 12-year-old daughter. And so it was, I think, about 2 years ago, I came across Make Space for Girls when they'd just set up, and I read what you were doing, and I was like, that's exactly everything that matters to me, and I'm in this position to actually try and do something. And so that's where I'm coming from. So actually, Rowntree Park, we're actually pretty lucky. It's a massive park, not far from the centre of York, so if you're ever visiting York, come down, we're next to the river. It's managed by York City Council. We're actually a charity. We became a charity 2 years ago, and partly the reason for that is to be able to get funding, because like it's been mentioned by Manchester earlier, parks don't have funding really, and we realised as a charity we can try and help improve our park by trying to get grants where we can for things. So us, as the Friends of Rowntree Park, it's our volunteers who garden. The council don't garden in our park. They haven't gardened since 2017. We have maintenance workers who will come and, it's not me, maintenance workers who will come and cut grass, empty bins, things like that, but they haven't gardened, they don't plant, they haven't got the funds, they haven't got the staff. We have a travelling team of maintenance workers who do all York parks. We haven't had our grass cut for 6 months, for example. And the thing is, I work well and talk well to our head of public realms, head of parks, and he wants to do what he can, but he's got no funding, so he tries his best, but he understands all the problems we've got. So it's us who garden, we fund the areas we garden, we run community events, activities, we run an education programme, mental health, wellbeing projects and more, and most of that is done by volunteers. Now, I do advocate volunteering, but to a certain extent, you shouldn't have to do everything. So there's a balance, getting that right. So what I wanted to just do in this talk quickly is just basically share what I've been doing, the research that we've done, actions, and where we're going. So there's some lovely pictures of Rowntree Park if you ever fancy visiting. Taken on a nice day, not showing where it's in decline and the grass hasn't been cut. So my project started in autumn 2021 and has been ongoing. And my initial focus was on finding out what our local girls think about the park, what the positives, the negatives are, how they would improve it. So I started by just writing blogs and articles to raise awareness of the issues, did online and in-person surveys, focus group sessions, observations of how people use the park. Now we're lucky, I better be very fast. We're very lucky because we've got membership of over 1,000 people, so I could contact people, went into schools, newsletters, so on. Here are the key findings. I'll be very quick. It's very similar to stuff that you've seen. Don't feel welcome, too old in a play park, not comfortable near the skate park. I'm going to have to go faster. Positives. It's quite an open plan park, lots of exits, lots of gates, round picnic benches, which we've put in as a charity where people can sit and chat. We do have toilets and a cafe. They do like swings, climbing frame. We have a lot of natural and nature areas, wildlife areas, ponds. We have an amphitheatre stage area. We run a range of community events and activities. We have things like arts in the parks, trails, and so on. Interestingly, we surveyed boys as well later on. These are the findings. I find it quite interesting. Most boys and girls don't use the skate parks and BMX tracks. They want swings, benches, agility equipment, and that's both boys and girls. So when we are building the skate parks and stuff, we're building for a minority. They are used and they are loved by some, but ask your local boys and girls what they want. So the issues we face with regards to safety, we've got no site staff, so it's not going to help. We've got no presence. Can't get community police there. We're told we're not the problem area. They're needed at the other end of York. Even our council manager, parks manager, says it's managed decline of the park, and he admits that. And he supports everything we do, and he tries his best. The park is currently open till 10. We are a park that floods. We're next to a river, so we have to actually close for health and safety. But it used to close at dusk, and the council can't get a security firm to close up any earlier, and our issues happen after dark. The skate park is enclosed like a tennis court, but we are making sure both entrances and exits are open. We'd like to take down the railings, but the council manager does say, basically, which one do you want? Do you want the flood wall fixing, or do you want that taken down? It's one or the other. You can't have both. So what we're trying to do to help, we're creating a community space, lots of projects, trying to make the park feel loved. We've got volunteers who are present at various times of the day. We have school visits. We actually run school visits, education programmes, getting the primary school children into the park to get familiar with it, to love it. We're trying to establish links with our local PCSOs. As I mentioned, I'm quite close with the council park manager. Skate park, we make sure the tall hedges are taken back so you can see into it and it's open space. And we want girls to feel welcome. So what we're trying to do is the two things we want from all this is new equipment for girls, specifically the ones that they've asked for, and we want more events for our girls. So, most wanted in all our surveys and feedback, swings, climbing agility, benches, to be located in the big kids play area. If you can see our map, we have a small kids play area and there's a big one. The girls want to be seen by adults. They don't want to be in that play area, but they want to be visible, that they know that adults are there. But we've got no money. I can't find grants or funding that will fund equipment in a council park. I can find money to run a group or to get another group in to run stuff. I can get like things with mental health well-being, but I can't get physical. I'm struggling to find funding for physical equipment. But even getting one piece of the asphalt, like a basket swing, would really help. But again, being a park that floods, we have to think about what it's made from, and it costs a lot more than most places. But our feedback did show that the girls like all the stuff happening in the park, the Pilates, yoga, the salsa, the baby-wearing dance classes, and they're things that actually I do. I oversee the park and get the events in, and I do all the paperwork and try and get things happening. We have a teenage weekly nature outdoor group for girls, aged 10 to 16, where we basically go to the woodland, hanging hammocks, and do lots of crafts. And throughout June, I've organised an event, Make Space for Girls programme throughout June, where we're basically going to have loads of events happening in the park aimed at girls. All those sorts of things. You'll see the slides later. So the conclusion from me, speaking really fast, is small groups or an individual can make a difference. And local research, get to know your area, talk to your girls and boys, raise awareness, connect with like-minded individuals, groups and organisations, and everything helps. Anything you can do helps. That's it.